About the horrible crash that took place at Reagan National Airport. Donald Trump, as you know, has suggested that the FAA has lowered standards for air traffic controllers because of DEI, and he is being hammered for even suggesting it. Here is what Trump said, number 11. Number 11.
And then when I left office and Biden took over, he changed them back to lower than ever before. I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen, because this was the lowest level. Their policy was horrible, and their politics was even worse. So as you know, last week, long before the crash, I signed an executive order restoring our highest standards for air traffic controllers and other important jobs throughout the country. So it was very interesting. About a week ago, almost upon entering office, I signed something last week that was an executive order, very powerful, on restoring the highest standards of air traffic control.
And of course, over on CNN, they are going ballistic. Here is CNN's Dana Bash, number 12.
What we want to do here is provide the facts as we know them. The as we know them part of this is really key, because the answer is we don't know a lot of the facts yet.
It's too early.
He is the president of the United States. Presumably, he has more information than you and I have. Having said that, just going back to the DEI of it, because if I'm somebody watching in the world who is just trying to get information about this, wondering, do I take my flight tomorrow? And I hear him saying that these are diversity and equity programs, talking about the specifics about people with disabilities being hired, so on and so forth. Can you just please, based on your reporting, based on the facts, explain the veracity of that and the potential impact of any of these programs on how the system works?
You see, this is the problem, isn't it? Once you began to infuse DEI in every facet of government, as Biden did, he signed executive orders saying that DEI is going to be a function of every part of government. You're going to make people suspect, sometimes probably even falsely, that somebody got a job because of DEI or somebody didn't get a job because of DEI, and therefore standards have been lowered. You've done this. You created the suspicion. And Trump raises it, and Trump's the bad guy. I'm in LA. UCLA Medical School was once one of the top medical schools in the country. It has dropped several levels. Why? There is a admissions officer who's hell-bent on DEI, and now, after 2 years of medical school, you take exams to make sure that you're up to snuff. Something like half of the students are flunking, as opposed to a very small percentage in normal years. Half. A substantial number of the students would not have even gotten into UCLA a few years ago. But because this dean is all about DEI, now these students are flunking. And that shouldn't be extrapolated everywhere else they try DEI. This reporter, same thing. Are you confident that DEI had any role? Then why bring it up? It's brought up because it's been infused in every part of government, starting with the Obama administration. He also signed executive orders, but Biden expanded them substantially. Number 17.
Mr. President, if you have 64 people lost their lives last night, if you aren't confident that DEI had any role, why bring it up?
Well, all I'm talking about is competence. And we want in that particular position, we have to have the most competent people in our country, because we're talking about lives. Now, it may or may not have had to do, but I don't like the fact that the helicopter was at the exact same level as the airplane.
Now, this is a former air traffic controller named Michael Pearson. Listen to this, number 29.
This is a preventable disaster. The system has been under attack due to DEI and the FAA bowing to wokeness since 2010, since the Obama administration. The lack of staffing is directly attributable to the Obama administration terminating the lists of eligible, well-trained air traffic control statements in 36 universities across the country in 2013 because they were too white. The FAA also, at the same time, implemented an immunity program. So you think you're seeing legitimate statistics, you're not. In the old days, before 2010, the immunity program, if an air traffic controller got two airplanes too close, too many times, they would be decertified and retrained. Now, they're not.
And yesterday, we spoke to a pilot named Mark, number 31. But in general, do you think DEI has been infecting the hiring of air traffic controllers?
You know, it's funny you said that. About 6 years ago, there was a writer. I don't know if you've ever heard, of your listeners, of a writer named Jason Riley.
I know Jason Riley. He writes for the Wall Street Journal.
Right. There was an article, and I have a copy of that article. I remember reading it. The article says the airport control tower is no place for racial redress. And he talks about exactly what President Trump was talking to today. And I remember I saved that article and said, this makes sense and this could be a problem. And, unfortunately, everybody saw what happened. But the United States, but he's right about this. If you have a sink or you have a plumbing problem or electrical problem at your house, you want the best plumber, the best electrician, not someone that looks a certain way that can maybe do your job. You want the water to stop in your house. You want the electricity turned on in your house. And it shouldn't change for airline pilots or anybody else. The NFL and the NBA, they only hire the best of the best.
Right.
Why should everybody else suffer?
Exactly.
Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.